Draw at home by Ajax in their first Phase 2 match. A win tonight for Arsenal, and they'll be in control of Group B. The champions of England and the champions of Spain coming up live. Andy's with us tonight. How do you think that defeat on Saturday might affect the Arsenal performance tonight, Andy?
No question it would have hurt them and knocked them out their stride a wee bit, but they're still top of the league. There's no need to panic. They've got so much quality in the team, and they can win this match tonight. And
they've got some big names back too. I mean, Seaman's back in goal for them. I mean, that's excellent for them. Campbell's back in the team. Vieira plays. I mean, there was some doubt about him. He was injured.
Yeah, the back four actually, Des, tonight. There's a few changes there. Lauren's come back in for Luzhny. Sigan, who keeps his place ahead of Martin Keown. That surprises me. I must say, I would have thought that Keown, having come back against United at the weekend, would then have continued his relationship alongside Campbell. But that's a strange one. Maybe they're just worried a little bit about giving him too much too soon. But certainly the rest of the team, you've got quality all round. Vieira, as you say, it's good news that he's playing, and Bergkamp back along in the hole.
The defence will be perfectly happy that Seaman's back in goal.
Definitely. I mean, there's no slight on Shaban, who's played a few games, and certainly Stuart Taylor, who's their third choice goalkeeper, has also done very well in this competition. But David Seaman has bags of experience. He has all the know-how you could ever. And I think that many people have been writing him off over the last few years, but he continues to defy all the odds and all the critics, takes the knocks in his stride and produces top-class performances.
Now, you're a Dennis Bergkamp fan, aren't you?
Yes.
Strange thing with Bergkamp, because he plays at home in the European matches, but some of the away games he has to miss because of the old air phobia.
He's got
to get a good psychiatrist, you see.
Well,
I know one as it
either that or some duty-free days, and just perhaps have a swig or two before he gets on board. But they miss him. They miss him in these games because he gives them something a little bit different. We've all seen enough of Dennis Bergkamp, and in Europe they all know about him, but it's stopping him. It's very, very difficult. He can provide that bit of brilliance that can just unlock the door in a tight game. And
this was brilliant.
This was absolutely fantastic for Lundberg. And other players are aware of what he can do when they see him perhaps running up a blind alley. They know that he can just wriggle out of it and produce, so they keep running. Just like there, Pires just happens to spot the run. He knows the pass is coming. He can score goals himself. We've seen this time and time again. I was a bit surprised he didn't play at the weekend against Manchester United, I have to say, because I still think he complements Henry better than anyone else.
Well, he plays tonight. It's always a good sight, isn't it? Now, the Valencia team, I think the viewers are getting pretty familiar with them. We've seen them twice this season. We've seen them over the last few seasons. Starman's Aymar, isn't he, the Argentine?
Like Bergkamp, Des will play in the hole, links up with Baraka and Albelda to try and thread Carew. Excellent play. You've got to keep your eye on him. Scored a brilliant goal against Liverpool out in Spain earlier on in the competition. The midfield is very, very strong, and at the back they have bags of experience. Ayala and Pellegrino, seen it all and done it all. They're the men that Henry's really got to threaten tonight.
They're missing Canizares in goal, who's the Spanish international goalkeeper. This guy, Palop, though, has got some experience in this competition, hasn't he?
He's played 10 times in the competition. He hasn't actually figured an awful lot domestically. But as you can see, he's 29 years of age. He's played enough. This won't faze him too much, I don't think, Des. But what will be good tonight if the Arsenal players can test him early on?
Yeah, it's going to be technically good, you think, this match?
It should be. This has all the makings of a monster. This could be a cracking game tonight. It really could.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. I hope you are at home. Right, the action to come, but first let's hear from Arsene Wenger.
This team, when these players, when they are questioned, they respond. And we know we can win the championship because we have done it. And we know we can win the championship because we were not found. So the most important thing now is to give our best in both competitions, that we have a chance to do it.
It's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Eternity for men. Calvin Klein.
Eternity gift sets, now available at your Calvin Klein counter.
3 divers to go then, and this is Darren Kroll of Australia. Oh, that's a good dive. 642.2, and now Petit of Canada. Oh, even better. This final really hotting up. Now the favourite, John Smith of Great Britain. What can he do?
A running bomb.
Oh, terrific. The crowd love it.
10.
And so do the judges. Top bombing.
At last, the Back to the Future trilogy box set. All 3 movies for the first time ever on DVD. Michael J. Fox stars in the hilarious blockbusters, packed with over 5 hours of electrifying DVD extras, including exclusive outtakes and deleted scenes. The Back to the Future trilogy box set. Own it on DVD now.
All right.
Yeah.
Ashamed of your mobile? Then get the latest handsets on O2 with free messages until the end of January at Phones For You now. We'll find the right phones for you.
You haven't seen my socks, have you?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a quality match in prospect here at Highbury tonight. However, Newcastle's game in Barcelona, which would have been live on ITV2, has been called off. These are the pictures from the famous Nou Camp. It's been bucketing down with rain there all day. You see how soggy it is. The pitch is waterlogged. They're still discussing when the game's going to be played. It could be tomorrow, but it could be next week. Soon as we know, you'll know, we'll tell you. So the live match on ITV2 now will be Inter Milan against Bayer Leverkusen from Newcastle's group. But now it's Arsenal against the 2-time finalists Valencia in Phase 2 Group B of the Champions League. Commentary tonight comes from Ron Atkinson. And first, Clive Tilsley.
Thank you, Des. Careful you don't get too hot in there tonight. You know how it can be under those studio lights. Take your jackets off, loosen your ties. It is a good night to be in front of the telly. Rod and I will do the polar exploring on your behalf. I've got a funny feeling we will be seeing Frenchmen in gloves tonight. The Champions League does take a 10-week winter break after tomorrow evening's games. It's the meeting of Europe's premier champions. Spain and England lead the way in the UEFA club rankings, and Valencia and Arsenal led the way in Spain and England last season. Arsenal are top again. Valencia are slipping. They're only second in Spain. Not that anyone needed reminding, but the home and away victories over Liverpool have underlined the menace of the Spanish Champions League armada. In the past 2 seasons, English teams have faced them on 20 occasions in this competition and won just 4. Arsenal played with great assurance in Rome. They look full of themselves and they're right to rub shoulders with the best. But there is a fine line between confidence and overconfidence, and Arsenal can stray the wrong side of it. Anglo-Spanish theme continues all week. Deportivo La Coruña at Old Trafford tomorrow, then on Thursday it's Leeds against Malaga. Celtic face Spanish opponents in the UEFA Cup 2. So O'Neill, Venables, Ferguson and Wenger pitting their wits against the best coaches in Spain. Wenger's team news is all good. Patrick Vieira was a genuine doubt yesterday, but the captain is fit, and so is Seaman and Lauren after spells out through injury. 4 changes in all from the weekend defeat at Old Trafford, with Campbell and Bergkamp returning too. That is the Arsenal first choice 11. Valencia are 2 players short of their prime selection. The injured goalkeeper Santiago Canizares is one of the best around, but his deputy Andres Palop has Champions League experience. Rufete is the other notable absentee, but Pablo Aimar is back after 3 weeks out, playing off the giant Norwegian John Carew. Talking of giants, Kanu is also fit again and back amongst the Arsenal substitutes. Martin Keown has lost out to Pascal Stigall. Wiltor and Luzhny have also lost their places. Kim Milton-Nielsen has done more in his refereeing career than just send off David Beckham, but he always has the air of a man not averse to a bit of fame. The same could never be said of my fellow Husky at Ice Station Zebra tonight, Ron Atkinson, who's going to warm us up tonight.
I think we're looking at the 2 link strikers of both sides. Fortunately for Arsenal, this fella's back Bergkamp. Even in the quietest of moments, you know, Clive can put in a telling pass, score a spectacular goal and keep his side in it. And Thierry Henry will welcome him coming back, that's for sure. In the Valencia side, little Pablo Aimar. Bright, inventive, drops off the front, continually looking to pick up the ball and play little 1-2s on the edge of the box. Very much a danger man. Just how he reacts, you know, he's been out for about 3 weeks, and I'm sure Arsenal hope that he's not quite match fit.
At 15 minutes at the end of Valencia's Spanish League game on Saturday. That is his only football in the last 3 weeks. And Arsenal have 1 or 2 ring-rusty players in their lineup too. Valencia are one of the 2 remaining teams who remain unbeaten in the Champions League. Only Barcelona qualified for the last 16 more impressively. But they did need an injury time equaliser to keep their record going against Ajax a fortnight ago.
Good start there, Clive. Bright start from Valencia, and I think that's a tactic we might see quite a bit this evening. A long ball on top of Angulo, the right-sided player. Good in the air. Will test Ashley Cole upstairs. Is probably, definitely, is not the best header of a ball. I think you might find them looking for a lot of balls to the far post.
Campbell, who missed the weekend through suspension. Lauren, who hasn't played since November the 3rd in the first team because of an ankle problem. It's been a loose start by Arsenal, but Seagoring with a challenge. Here is Angulo, who scored that very late equaliser against Ajax in Valencia a fortnight ago. Handball given against Puro Torres, the right back.
The other thing I think is vitally important from Arsenal's point of view is they get about the game early on. I felt on Saturday at United they were a bit waiting for the game to happen and got punished for it. I think tonight, particularly Gilberto and Patrick Vieira have got to put those tackles in, because they're facing 2 terrific central midfield players, Baraka and Albelda.
Seaman allowing himself an extra touch. It's been a rather edgy opening, this. It was their 4th defeat in their last 8 Premiership matches at the weekend. Valencia have lost twice in the Spanish League. 4 points adrift to Real Sociedad. Henry seeking out Gilbert. Here is Andres Palop. Medio Carboni, the oldest player on the field at 37 years young though. Italian fullback.
A lot of talk before the game about whether their confidence may be a little bit knocked from Saturday's result on Arsenal. If we think back to when Everton broke their unbeaten record earlier in the season, immediately after Auxerre, and Auxerre really put them about it, particularly early on.
Arsenal lost 4 games in a row. Pellegrino up towards Carew. Campbell trying to get at him, but there's an awful lot of John Carew to get round. Aimar cutting away at Patrick Vieira. Campbell managed to slip it clear. And here's Youngberg.
That's where years of success over the last few years, you know, have helped Valencia. When we first used to see them go up against Man United and that early on before they started qualifying for finals, they always, to me, looked tentative away from home and relied a lot defensively. Now they've got the confidence to come out and press sides.
It's Arsenal who started a little tentatively. Here's Pires trying to change that. Ashley Cole is ahead of him. Turned away by Pellegrino. Vieira. Thigh strain was the problem that threatened to keep him out of tonight's game. Cole's still a long way forward. It is a Valencia throw. But Arsenal were behind at this stage in Rome a fortnight ago. But even then, they just looked like a team who were sure of themselves, sure of their ability to recover and win against anybody. They haven't quite looked like that yet tonight. Here's Gilberto, though, into Bergkamp, and now Henry. Ayala stood firm, and it was hooked away by Vicente. Campbell gave the ball away that time. Aymar, back to Carboni. Some space here for Ruben Baraka, who, unusually for him, allowed the ball to run away from him. Albelda. Aymar. Vicente. This came to Aymar at the stretch, but it is a Valencia throw. Baraka. Curo Torres. Played inside Cole for Angulo, away by Sigon to Pires. Now Henry. Vieira played behind Gilberto. Campbell did really well there. There's no right to win either of those challenges, but Albelda immediately won it back from Gilbert. It's awkward for Cole, and a misunderstanding with Sigon, and Cole manages to atone. Campbell and Lauren win the benefit of any doubt, both of them bundled to the ground by the diminutive Aymar. What's going on at the back?
I think at the moment as well, they're trying to play a bit finicky at the back. They're trying to pick little passes out there. I mean, there's a moment here it should be latched onto, dealt with straight away. All of a sudden you find a right mix-up between the two defenders. Arsenal lucky to get out of it. I think they've got to get the ball into midfield quicker, look for the front players quicker, and try and get Valencia on the back foot more. They're playing little short balls, which is their norm, but they're getting picked off in their own back third.
Ball is out of play.
Against the team, incidentally, who are hustling and hunting very, very quickly.
Well, they played some lovely stuff in both the games against Liverpool, but their reputation in Spain is as a rather destructive side. Their defence is their backbone.
And the man on the ball epitomises that, doesn't he?
The cutthroat defender, Roberto Ayala, to Curo Torres, now forward to Angulo. Sigon was there. This is Albelda captaining Valencia tonight, on by Aymar. Angulo managed to run through Sigon's challenge. He would have gone through Cole's too, but for the fact he was missed time. And Arsenal were lucky there that the referees pulled play back, because Carew had got beyond them.
I bet Arsenal are very happy the free kick has been conceded. Carew is in a terrific position here in Angola. Yeah, he's fouled. I mean, he's late to the tackle out Ashley Cole. But I think the linesman's in a great position there to let the advantage go, and they know it.
Milton Nelson is one of the most highly thought of referees in the game. He was a World Cup semi-final official during the summer. Aymar. Able to pick out Angulo. Vieira sees to that. Here's Pires. Aymar stuck at it, but Pires managed to trick him and link up with Thierry Henry. Looking to roll it into Jumbo's path. It might come for Gilberto! But he has already scored a couple of critical goals for Arsenal in this season's competition, Gilberto. He does have an eye for goal.
Yeah, it's worth a pop. Ball breaks into his path quite luckily. I just wonder if he'd have glanced and maybe seen Freddie Ljungberg on his right-hand side. But from there, you've got to have a pop.
He sat up a little bit and he shinned it somewhat.
He looks frozen to death, doesn't he, to be fair to him, Gilberto?
There are as many glove wearers on the Arsenal team as there are on the Valencia side, more actually. There's a couple sitting talking to you too. Vicente. Carboni. Aymar. Looking to link up with Carew. I think that's supposed to be the other way round. Carew 6'6" and Aymar's 5 feet nothing, and it was Aymar with a headed flick on. Baraka back to Albelda. That's a clever ball over Cole, and Angulo is there, but so too is Seaman.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. Saw the script early, got out there, did it well. But I think you'll find, like I said in the early part, I think they've picked out Ashley Cole as somebody they're going to give pressure to. They're going to load things on top of him.
And the number 10 out there, Miguel Angel Angulo, who is playing on the right of midfield, was Valencia's lone front man in their run into the title last season. He's played more football for this club as a striker than he has as a midfield player, so he knows his way to go.
As I say, one of the strengths whenever we've seen him as well, his ability in the air.
It's clever from Pires, but he ran into traffic. Bergkamp trying to help it on, away by Carboni. Seagull. Vieira. Looking to settle things down and bring a bit of order to Arsenal's attacking play. Bergkamp. He'll introduce the swagger and the quality. Henry was there, Pires was there.
That's the moment of Bergkamp, though. Has hardly had a touch in the game. All of a sudden, his first real touch almost puts Arsenal in a great goal-scoring position.
Arsene Wenger certainly felt that if Arsenal had overcome Valencia 2 seasons ago, they would have gone on to win the competition. They were denied a semi-final meeting with Leeds United by that defeat. But it's the best that they've managed under his stewardship in this competition. The Valencia coach is Rafa Benitez, a relative unknown who won the club's first title for more than 30 years in his first season in charge. Carew. To stretch those long legs and stretch Seagull and win a corner. I suppose the jury's still out somewhat on John Carew.
It's improved a little bit because he was awful when he first got in the side, but full marks to him. The last few times he has become a threat, as indeed Valencia are on corners. This is a big forte of theirs.
Pellegrino's taller than Carew. Whipped in by Vicente towards Angulo, well dealt with by Henry at the near post. Vicente again. Vieira away this time. Carboni fancies his chances on his unfavoured right foot. Some pass from Palop to Ayala. Baraka. Vicente. Lauren has spent most of his life in Spain. He joined Arsenal from the Spanish club Real Mallorca, but he moved to the country at quite an early age, the Cameroon international. Playing against the Spanish champion tonight, and specifically against Vicente here, who is a current Spanish international and is certain of his place in the Valencia team at the moment because Kili Gonzalez, the Argentine, is out having undergone an ankle operation. Another Argentine, Ayala, only as far as Bergkamp, very precisely into the path of Henry, running free and wide. Clipped in towards Pires, dealt with by Curo Torres, but here's Ashley Cole, and now Robert Pires. Instant shot, straight at Palop. Better though from Arsenal.
Yeah, better. All emanated again from the little pass down the side from Bergkamp to set Henry free. Unfortunately, the finish, the ball got tucked up a little bit with Pires. But they need a spark, they need to make something happen at the moment.
Valencia are opponents who naturally make you wary. They really do know their way around this competition now.
I think what we're seeing as well, what has happened for me, a gradual sort of transformation in European matches over the years. The better sides now, home or away, always try and go for the opposition. Remember the time when it was the sort of standard procedure to just play very defensive away from home and wait for mistakes. No, I find the better sides are always trying to win them from the word go. And that incidentally includes Arsenal, as we saw in Rome. At the moment, they're defensive because they have to be.
Vieira, cut up by Angulo.
Clive, he's not looked sharp tonight for me, Big Patrick. Oh, that's dangerous.
Vicente has got beyond Lauren. He went for goal when he had support, and Aymar and Angulo were perfectly placed on the edge of the penalty area for a cutback.
Poor effort that, let off that for Vicente. He got into that little shallow shanta and did nothing in the end.
Here's Bergkamp trying to get in between the two Argentines, Ayala and Pellegrino. Do well to outwit them. Even Dennis Bergkamp, miscue by Seagull. Later score from the other match in this group tonight, and it's Ajax 1, Roma 0, and Ibrahimovic has given Ajax the early lead there in Amsterdam. Roma without a point from their opening game, obviously. Ajax are Arsenal's next opponents here, but in 10 weeks' time, in far-off February. Arsenal's passing has been poor, particularly in that area. Angulo forward towards Carew.
But that's that little thing, though. I think they're playing far too short and inviting Valencia in to come and press them.
Ball almost has a look of as a hot potato to some of them, which is so unusual for Arsenal. Almost fighting each other to have it.
You see, as soon as he arrives, as soon as he receives that, Lauren, they're in there pressing. They don't let him get his head up, and it's a very impressive start from the Spanish champions. I think at the moment, there's a saying as well, you have to earn the right. I think at the moment Arsenal are trying desperately to do that. You know, they've got to play, if you like. They can't get their game going at the moment, they're passing game, but they've got to make sure that the other side of it's right, that they don't give anything away sloppily, because their time will undoubtedly come in the game.
Vieira. On towards Henry. Sure if he was trying to lay that off to Bergkamp or not. It almost reached Bergkamp as it happens, and Ayala has given it away to Pires. In towards Bergkamp. Henry. Cross charged down by Baraka and headed by Albelda, and here's Baraka on to Angulo, and Valencia can break with Carew running against Seagull and fouling Seagull.
That was going to be an interesting race, that. Seagull is not the quickest on the turn. He's working hard to get across him. He's managed to get across his run. I just wonder if Carew hadn't grappled him on the shoulder, whether he might still have emerged favourite.
The legs tangled too, rather accidentally, but that was what unbalanced Seagull. A little loose from Campbell, but he's found Seagull, and here's Cole.
So they're making them hurry the ball, aren't they? They're really getting around the ball. They're really testing Arsenal's one-touch control.
Puro Torres with a rather hesitant back pass, which Pellegrino has to deal with, and here's Pires, taken out by Ayala. Carew protected the ball well initially, and he has won a throw-in. Only 23, John Carew, and it was his 75th minute header in Valencia which put Arsenal out of this competition 2 seasons ago. Arsenal were quite keen to sign him the year or so before that. 2 English clubs have had a look. Vieira. Ljungberg early on, and Henry is just offside in the opinion, not of him, but
I guess say not in
the man on the near side with the flag. Oh, yeah, he was level, you know.
Oof, touch and go. Don't like to see defenders doing that, stepping up when the ball's going the other way.
Here was the defender, Pellegrino. Carew on towards Vicente. Lauren a little hemmed in, did well to emerge from the corner with nothing worse than a Valencia throw.
But that's what they're doing particularly well at the moment. They're not letting Arsenal's back four have any respite at all. As soon as they get possession, they pounce upon them and not letting them get the pattern of play going.
And as soon as they got in front at Anfield, they were able to break the game up. They were quite ruthless in their approach. They could stop the match and break up any rhythm that Liverpool were able to establish that night, not always by fair means. There's a chance there for Arsenal to break, but Vieira was unable to pick up Pires or Cole.
At the moment, I don't think the skipper's on his game at all. You know, if he's had a muscle problem, it's not the best weather to be testing out suspect muscles. I mean, he is the heartbeat of the side, and at the moment, not really got going.
And Arsenal have lost the last 3 Champions League games in which Patrick Vieira has not played. They were very, very keen to have him out there tonight, but whether he is anything like fit, we'll have to keep an eye on. Not exactly the temperature for a thigh strain either, is it? No flag here. Carew. Campbell able to recover because Carew's chest control was just a little heavy. Ball is out of play. Albelda. Aymar. Advantage played. Angulo.
I think maybe when it's like this as well, Clive, you know, when Valencia are imposing themselves upon Arsenal, I think 1 or 2 of the, shall we say, normally we look for Arsenal to see the flary players, the exciting players. I think it might be the time for people like Campbell, all right, Vieira if necessary, if he can do, and Gilberto, to put a bit of physical presence about them. Not let Carew bully them. Not let 1 or 2 at the back, the 2 we know so well, the 2 Argentinians, Pellegrino and Ayala. Not let them keep brushing them aside.
Pires. Looking to play Cole in. Ayala is there. His cruel customer, Cole, almost.
Just thinking, remember that bad pass he gave early on that nearly put Arsenal in? You don't see him do many of those risk balls.
I said that Carew's goal beat Arsenal. Ultimately, it was Ayala's goal here, the volleyed goal just before half-time, which was the away goal, which eventually put Arsenal out in the quarter-finals 2 seasons ago. Vieira to Pires. On to Bergkamp. Ayala is the defender, and Bergkamp has held him off here and crossed in towards Freddie Ljungberg. Well, I think he tried to control it when it was almost crying out to be volleyed. It was a great run by Ljungberg and a fine move, but Valencia are putting one of their own together, and Carboni has found Aymar. Roll back to Albelda. Now Vicente. Carew couldn't reach it. Cole calmly down to Vieira. Now Bergkamp. That was a fine run against Ayala.
Did exceptionally well there.
Showed a pace.
Did brilliant. Oh, that's, you know, there is a story going around that he's one of the quicker Arsenal players. Which might surprise people, but he is very, very sharp.
Surprised Ayala. Here's Angulo. That's a very teasing, tempting cross, and it teased everybody. Ljungberg to Gilberto. Rather a nervous night at Highbury so far. We're all concerned. Crowd seem to have caught the mood too.
The big thing is, even though they're not functioning that they'd like to, it's important they don't concede. Very important. And that last ball was a hell of a ball. It's a good job for Arsenal that nobody gambled. No Valencia player gambled and attacked it.
The slip from Henry, almost linking up with Pires. Angulo though. Seagull down to Cole. Vieira. Pires. Chance to run at Puro Torres. He's not protected at the moment. Cross from Pires. Volleyed away by Carboni. Vieira. Ljungberg to Bergkamp. Always rising. Couldn't quite dig it out from underneath his feet. Good chance, though, for Freddie Ljungberg a moment ago. Was he just trying to touch the control?
I think he is a little bit anxious. It's a great spot there from... I think he was right to try and control it. Maybe just got a bit wider for him to hit a full volley on it. And normally you'd expect Freddie Ljungberg, when he goes in the box, he doesn't panic. He just maybe got in there a little bit early. But some superb play from Bergkamp.
On by Carew.
That's the important thing. When Carew, if he does get the first header, it's important that the other defenders just make sure that nobody picks up the bits off him.
Seeing on, encouraging Aymar. This is Arsenal's third successive year in the last 16. Last season, 2 defeats to another Spanish side, Deportivo La Coruña. Played the major part in their downfall. In 2001, it was Valencia who altered them in that quarter-final. Vicente got on the dangerous side of Lauren there for a moment. These two were teammates in the Spanish second division a few seasons back at a club called Levante. They know each other very well. We've seen plenty of each other again tonight. I think Lauren was a bit lucky there. Vicente went down quite easily. Claudio Ranieri, an interested observer because he is a former coach of Valencia and a very popular coach he was too. Just before Hector Cooper, the Argentine who immediately preceded the current incumbent. Chelsea are here over the Christmas period. New Year's Day, I think. Baraka. Losing out to Campbell, called by Gilberto. Henry. Had a chance to play it early to Youngberg, and in the end Albelda got to him, but good challenge there by Sol Campbell, giving Valencia a taste of the medicine they've been dishing out in the opening stages.
Yeah, but I think they need a lot more of that from quite a few of them. You know, what you call the strong-minded, the protectors. That's good strength. He's pressed in there. And really, I was surprised Henry didn't turn and get on his way quickly. All right, he's played a loose pass at the end, or very pressured by Albelda.
He's caught in two minds as to whether to go on alone or feed Youngberg immediately. Lauren to Youngberg. He's broken the challenge of Carboni. Pellegrino is there. But Arsenal trying to force the issue a bit here. We've had 25 fairly messy minutes by the standards of these two teams. Lauren. Vieira. It has been laced with moments. Cole. Crossed in towards Dennis Bergkamp. Carboni did really well against him. Just had to help it on its way.
Well, he was a defender in the Italian league, wasn't he, when Italian defending was the best. And he certainly knows his way around defensively.
10 years at the top in Italy, Carboni. This is his 5th season now in Spain. He wrote the manual on marking and defending. Pires with the corner. Met by the head of Pellegrino. A gusty wind swirling around inside Highbury. It's a factor tonight. The actual surface, as ever, in superb condition. Henry. It's cleverly done. He drew 4 into him then, but a little fortunate to find an outlet to Lauren. There's Carboni, in the end over-elaborating, having done the initial part well and conceding a corner kick for his audacity. The most vocal that the Highbury crowd have been so far. Towards Gilberto. Will come to Bergkamp. Deflected. Not deflected away from the grasp of Andres Palop. It was a crisp strike by Bergkamp.
Well, struck it ever so well. They can consider themselves, unfortunately. Here goes big John Carew down there.
Gilberto trying to keep up with him.
They have to keep him on his left side. A number of times we've said that when teams have played against Carew, when he comes down his left-hand side, because he's predominantly a right-footed player, loves to turn back infield.
Not easy when you're taking 2 strides to every one of his, though. Valencia throw. Bergkamp is starting to influence the game. He's had the 25 minutes at Old Trafford on Saturday. It's strange he hasn't really had a run in the team this season because of injuries. Baraka helped onto Angulo. Kuro Torres. To say it was the same story last season really for Bergkamp until the last couple of months. That was when he really left his mark on Arsenal's season. Aymar combining with Vicente. Lauren recovering.
Great challenge there, great tussle between those two on this Arsenal's right-hand side defensively. Lauren doing ever so well against Vicente.
Big test on his return to the team. Oleg Luci's been playing pretty well in that position. Carboni spooned up towards Carew, came off Campbell. Seagull had to deal with it. Campbell trying to lean over Carew, who's been penalised. First touch from Campbell created some difficulties for Arsenal there. Saul Campbell's got another return trip to White Hart Lane on Sunday. Won't be cold there. Seagull. Came off Kuro Torres. Valencia were hoping the flag might have gone up on the near side. Arsenal have a throw in an advanced position, and Henry finds Pires. Vieira. And Baraka fouled him. Either Baraka or Albelda, they both were in attendance. And this is just about the position.
I think he's a bit lucky there, Big Patrick, but it's a dangerous position.
Where Thierry Henry scored against Aston Villa here. Same area in which he scored his hat-trick goal in Rome. And there's the latest in the firing line. Andres Palop, the reserve Valencia keeper, remember.
That must be the biggest wall outside of China. Have a look at that. Big fellas in it. Carew, even Big Patrick's in there as well.
It is Thierry Henry. Palop had to scoop it up. Almost on the half volley. Actually went through the wall rather than over it.
Now that's something you don't expect. That's twice Pablo Aymar's won aerial contest. That's beautiful.
Bergkamp onto Vieira, and here's Thierry Henry. Ljungberg is available. It's Henry, and the goalkeeper, having gambled by coming out, managed to smother the shot.
Two minds, Thierry Henry. Beautiful play. Certainly the best move of the match. Puts him in. You think, go on, either play it early. I think you'll find he's got people supporting him on the back as well. Gilberto's made it. Little bit once again, maybe that last little, I mean the move was brilliant, the best move Arsenal made, but maybe the last bit of indecision by Thierry Henry perhaps typifies how they played tonight. Nearly but not quite at the moment.
Aymar looks like he might need some attention following Campbell's foul. Henry did score against Valencia in that quarter-final 2 seasons ago, but late in the game he was through one-on-one against Canizares, who managed to hold his nerve and make a save, and Arsenal had reason after the second leg to look back and rue that miss from Henry, but that's the life of a high-profile striker. Your goals are certainly remembered and praised, but so are your misses. They're remembered. Pellegrino. Ooh, it's off the head of Gilberto. That could have gone anywhere, really. It's a corner.
A lot of disguise on that one from Pellegrino. Everybody's looking for the big fellas on the second post, and he played a straight ball. This is, as I say, over the years, they have been very, very good on these set plays corners.
Vicente will take. And there was a foul there by Carew in the midst.
You know, just going back to that chance of Henry's there, Clive, I wonder, you know, if he hadn't have had support players, and you can't blame players for racing up to support, I just wonder whether he'd have done that where that thing he does where he tucks back on his right foot and slides it past the keeper's left hand. I just wonder whether he got a bit indecisive because he thought he had options.
He had the first really good chance of Saturday's game at Old Trafford too, didn't he?
Yeah, that was another one. You know, he was unlucky, but I thought he should have taken that one on.
Came away from Vieira to Baraka. Gets it back from Angulo. Carew. It's come to Vieira. Too heavy for Bergkamp. There's a late challenge on Vieira by Albelda.
He's not comfortable at all for me, the big fella. He's not comfortable now. The fella's just cracked him, Albelda, but he's not, you know, if you've had a groin strain or whatever it is, and you're not that 100% sharp, particularly when you play at the level he plays at, can be for him.
Henry trying to skip his way through. He's won another free kick.
The one good thing from Arsenal's point of view, they've arrested that early 15-minute spell when Valencia dominated the game, and they're having a fair bit of play themselves now. And it may be one of those nights where they have to scrap for a result. You know, we like to see the Arsenal free-flowing with all the lovely stuff going on, but tonight may be one of those things where one of the big central defenders has to force something in.
Well, they got outstretched in Manchester on Saturday, that's for sure.
They did, but you know, tonight, to be fair, they're contesting everything.
Henry is the man standing over the ball. The angle is against him. Vieira, Campbell, Seagon are all in there. Plenty of movement, plenty of grappling going on. Henry goes for goal, doesn't get beyond Carew.
Can you imagine the keeper's view from behind all that, with all that movement in front of him? You know, how distracting it must be.
Andy Townsend was saying before the game, he doesn't lack Champions League experience, Palop, and he's played at Old Trafford, he's played at Ibrox, he's played in Munich in this competition. So the stage shouldn't be anything to overawe him. Free kick has been given, even though Arsenal had a chance to go on. Carboni is unhappy with Lauren. And when Carboni is unhappy, he lets you know. See that sleeve? That's where he wears his heart. What did Lauren do to upset him? Well, left his foot in. Nothing too dangerous about it.
I think that's Carboni's years and years of experience coming out there. That's to try and rattle and shake things up and break things up.
Expressive face. He'd be an Italian then, would he? Bergkamp takes. Goalkeeper takes out with the punch. Vieira is limping back from an advanced position.
I think he's got a major problem. I was watching him earlier, and all right, he's had the knock there, but he's not moving anywhere near as, I mean, even the half-fit Vieira is better than most midfield players in the world, but...
Does have Edu and Ray Parlour sitting behind him, though, Arsene Wenger. He's not exactly down to the bare bones with this squad. Gio Van Bronckhorst couldn't even get on the bench tonight.
I tell you what, if Ray Parlour's fit, he'd fancy this sort of match, wouldn't he?
He scored a marvellous goal here against Valencia 2 years ago, but Edu seemed to be lined up to play if Vieira was unable to. And it doesn't look as if Vieira's going to be able to continue, and there you go, it's Parlour. But Arsenal have got Lauren finding his way back after a long absence. Seaman, who hasn't played for 3 weeks, are now going to bring in Ray Parlour, who's had nearly 3 months out.
Well, normally he's fit, he's aggressive, and the adrenaline will take him through a game like this.
Pellegrino seeking out Carew, running down the side of Seagull. He did get a toe on the ball. Ball hit out by Seaman so that Arsenal can make the change. And the gamble on Patrick Vieira hasn't really paid off. He's lasted 37 minutes and now makes way for Ray Parlour, who's back from the longest injury of his career, a knee problem, which has kept him out for the best part of 3 months. He started the season in the team. He finished last season in the team. There was all that World Cup talk belatedly after his outstanding display in the FA Cup final.
Should have gone as well. Definitely should have gone for me. As we say, in the closing stages of the season, probably the best midfield player in the country.
Gilberto. That's a poor pass, picked off by Vicente. Managed to make him change his mind a few times before delivering a cross which Campbell charged down, and Parler finds Ljungberg. On towards Henry, but the ball is out of play. There is the England coach. Nice to see an England player in Arsenal colours, another one. Worth coming. Torres, Aymar. Gilberto just had a little nibble at him, as a Brazilian might do to an Argentine, and there's an Argentine unusually making an error. Ayala. Baraka tied it up for him. They're having it long towards Carew quite a lot, and he's made the most of it. He's linked up here with Aymar. There's a flag up against Pablo Aymar.
Yeah. Fortunate one that as well for Arsenal. He was off, but I think that was more by luck than design.
He wasn't off, was he?
Oh no.
Tough ones for the assistants when one player's going one way, then the defender's coming out. But the benefit of the doubt should go to the little man in white, the attacking player. By Pellegrino to Parler. Seagull to Cole. Gilberto. Cole. It's a good spin.
Yeah, unlucky. Nice bright movement. Just thinking prior to that. Just watching through. Nice threaded ball. Nice give and go. He got a fair idea with the goalie, so unfortunately can't just hit tag. I just wonder, whenever I see Ljungberg playing the right-hand side for Arsenal, I always get the picture of when he's playing on the left-hand side. But I must admit, Clive, I think he's more effective. I think he gets in the box more from that side. He seems to play more as an orthodox player when he plays out here. I just wonder whether I'd like to see him go on, if you wonder about the pitch a little bit and get in the game.
Baraka. Ljungberg getting in a challenge. Parler bursting forward. Trying to change the gear of the Arsenal performance.
But that's what they need. They need something like that. They're doing all right at the moment. They're contesting the game now.
That's what Valencia do, though, when you do try to run at them and commit them. They stop you. Free kick, yeah, we'll take that.
And it's not always the same player. They're very clever at that. I always thought Brazil were good at that. When in their pumps, that be 3 or 4, and they take it in turns, whichever one knocked them down.
Free kick given against Aymar, who's got a baby face and a wonderful talent, but who stood on Salif Diao at Anfield, I remember, and knows how to look after his meagre frame. That's a good ball from Parler. Cole has got forward again. It's opened up for Ashley Cole. Didn't fancy, did he, on his right foot? But he does lend something to both the England and Arsenal attack, doesn't he? He's always willing to go forward.
I actually thought when he was here, you know, I thought Gilberto was catching up. He could have rolled the little ball inside. I mean, once he turned in field, that was his only option to go on and try and have a pop at goal.
There's an argument to say that he's better going that way than he is the other, but
he's he's sort of zestfully carried. Sometimes he doesn't always have the greatest final ball, but because he persistently gets at people, he does cause threats. Talking of threats, Sol's got his hands full with the big fella tonight. 2 ways you play against Carew if you're a big lad yourself. You either contest the ball or you let him have it and pick up the drops off him.
It's funny, despite his immense size, we've rarely seen him used as a big target man by Valencia. It's often when he goes wide and runs with the ball that he's been at his most dangerous, but he's played right down the middle tonight and they've hit him over and over again.
Just wonder whether that's seeping through a little bit. I saw Southampton put Arsenal about in the air at the back with PT. Dion Dublin did it to a certain extent here the other week, and you just wonder whether one or two are looking and thinking, well, hang on a bit, there might be a little flaw there.
Youngberg.
I think he should do that once or twice for the Youngberg. Go in and gamble a little bit. Try and get lost. Try and lose Marcus.
Carlos put West high. Are you a little surprised that Seagon rather than Keown made way for the return of Campbell?
I am actually. I can understand a righty and a lefty. I mean, that isn't, you know, it's always handy that your left-hand centre-back can play off his left side. But, you know, I'm one of Keown's biggest fans. I think he is a dogged, bulldog defender. I mean, Andy said, didn't he, before the game, may have a point that perhaps they don't feel that his fitness level's up yet to playing 2 games on the bounce. So if you play centre-half, you could play 5 games a week.
Cole. A little too long for Henry. Baraka buying himself a free kick. No additional time signalled from the bench. Free kick towards Carew.
Carboni was even complaining about that.
No goals as the half-time whistle goes. Freddie Youngberg certainly had a sight of the Valencia goal, but Arsenal have been prevented from finding any real fluency as yet. Different sort of match than we maybe anticipated. Half-time Arsenal 0, Valencia 0.
Sorry, mate. You're useless!
Carpenter Club, is it true you're moving to Italy? What about the baby? Okay.
Carlsberg aren't football agents, but if we were, we'd probably be the best football agents in the world.
Evolution continues. The digital Ixus V Cubed and the card photo printer CP100. A natural connection. Perfect digital prints. No PC required. With Canon, you can.
Life's better when you take control. Oops. The Ford Focus.
People came to Wembley. One man walked on stage. Lee Evans.
Formula One racing. 50 quid to get in, right? We stood there and a car went...
Lee Evans. Wired and Wonderful.
Go on, son!
Out now on DVD and video.
Purchase the card photo printer CP100 and receive 2 packs of photo paper and ink. That's 72 photo prints, free. With Canon, you can.
When I want to share a moment, words aren't always enough. Yet picture messaging. T-Mobile.
A brand new case
You can't just barge in here like that!
leads to a dark world of obsession and murder.
Sir, you better see this.
Seems to have been some kind of mystery man in her life.
I didn't kill her.
All new Taggart, Wednesday at 9, ITV1.
No goals here so far between Arsenal and Valencia. Andy Townsend promised it would be a technically superior game. It isn't quite, is it, unfortunately?
No, it's
scrappy.
It's not quite happened. It's a good start from the visitors. Got to give them credit. They're very organised. They know what they're doing. They know they're a quality side. They know that if they go gung-ho here at Arsenal, that with the pace of Henry and the quality that they have, they can hurt them. So they've sat there and they've quietened the crowd. Everything's working so far perfectly to plan from a Valencia point of view.
Because they're clever defensively, aren't they? I mean, I think in the Spanish league they've conceded something like 7 goals only.
They're very, very good, and I just think from Arsenal's point of view, I'd just like to see them deliver it a little bit earlier, Des, to Thierry Henry. I know it's the way they play. I know we've seen them over the last couple of seasons playing wonderful football from the back. Just think every now and again it would be nice for him. I'm watching him and he's making a lot of runs and he's getting a wee bit frustrated because he's not coming early enough. I think if they were to deliver it just that split second earlier, that's all it takes. Sometimes it will give him more of a chance to run in behind Ayala and Pellegrino.
Well, he nearly did run in behind them at one stage. Well, in fact, he did. He was ahead of them there, but it didn't quite happen.
He was. It was actually one of their better moves. Vieira and Bergkamp linking up. A nice little flick from Dennis Bergkamp. Vieira, one of the few passes he actually found one of his teammates so far tonight. But Thierry Henry, though, I did expect him to do better. He didn't look like he had the picture in his mind, just didn't quite
make his mind up. He usually comes back on the right foot there, doesn't he? Curves that one across the goals.
He usually just puts it in the back of the net there.
Well, that's it.
You know, but
that's what I was trying to say.
I'm just wondering, could he have perhaps faced that across the box for Freddie Ljungberg? But that's kind of just been a bit typical of what's happening so far. It's just not quite happening.
Yeah, Bergkamp, though, I mean, you forecast that we might see a good match from him. He's playing quite well.
Yeah.
Some nice moments from him today.
Sure, I think that the sporadic moments they've had have kind of gone through him, and he has sort of produced one or two of their best moments. I again would like to see him get involved in it more. We've seen him, that little bit of vision there is very typical of him. Just like to see him get on the ball just that bit more, because I do think if they persist with Dennis Bergkamp, he will eventually, doesn't matter how many times he gets disappointed, how many times he doesn't find his teammates, he will eventually find the right pass. He showed good pace here and good strength to shrug off Ayala, and that's a good ball. And I was just wondering if Freddie was going to launch himself at that diving header, but not quite to be. It's not happening for Arsenal so far, Des, but it's not the end of the world. They don't have to go and win this game. What they don't want to do is throw it away in trying to win it.
Yeah. What about the defence for Arsenal? They did look a bit edgy at times, did you think, tonight?
Yes, early on, once or twice. There's a few balls bouncing around and perhaps people aren't just dealing with things just that little bit quicker. But all in all, it's just been that sort of game where one or two players didn't start particularly well, and it kind of spread around the team. The passing got a little bit sloppy.
But it got a bit sloppy from Vieira of all people, didn't it?
Well, and we don't see that. That's very rare from Patrick Vieira. Normally he's so good. Yeah. But it's a big loss. There's now he's coming off. Of course, doesn't matter.
It's a bit of a risk playing, I would imagine, was it?
Yes, and hopefully, certainly from an Arsenal point of view, hopefully he's not going to be out of the picture for too long.
But Ray Parlour gets his chance tonight.
Yeah, Ray is a very underrated player.
Sure. Incidentally, tonight's match in Barcelona taking on Newcastle, of course. Well, they're not. Oh, they haven't, because that's the situation at the famous Nou Camp, bucketing down with rain all afternoon and all evening. The umbrella's up, squelchy, waterlogged pitch, and that match now has been rescheduled for tomorrow, Barcelona against Newcastle, and it'll be live on the ITV News channel. The programme starts at 7 o'clock. But as planned on ITV2 tomorrow night, it's Manchester United against Deportivo from Group D. A couple of other scores for you from tonight's action. In the Newcastle group, Inter Milan, who of course beat Newcastle handily up there. They're leading by Leverkusen by 2-0. And in this group here, Ajax, who drew in Valencia in their first match, are leading Roma by 1-0. Well, that's the news we can tell you. I can't imagine Arsenal not scoring in 2 matches running, can you? We will see in the second half.
You know those arguments. One of you wants to use the phone and the other wants to use the internet. Phone! BT Broadband puts an end to all that, because you can use the telephone anytime, whilst your internet connection is always on. For domestic bliss, call 0800 800 060.
It's not about where you are. It's about where you want to be.
It's not a question of what you already know.
It's all the fantastic things you've yet to discover.
It's about being there!
When you really want to be there.
It's about real choice. What you really want, when you really want it.
The biggest movies, exclusive sport, documentaries and kids' entertainment. Sky. Stay in and go somewhere different.
The Schurner Total Grooming System has 3 interchangeable heads. It's a shaver, clipper and trimmer in one. Its amazing versatility allows you to create any style you want, whenever you want. Schurner Total Grooming System for whatever style you want.
Excuse me, sir. Is that your seat?
No, I got an economy ticket. But I thought I'd see if I could get away with sitting here.
Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I do apologize.
It's okay.
Smirnoff Black Ice, crystal clear.
If Britain were French, the whole of August would be a holiday. Cronenberg, 1664. Vive la vie française.
It's our first Christmas, so we're offering free media messages until the end of January on any media messaging phone. See what you can do. O2.
Modern society is a breeding ground for rage.
No, I'm not listening to any of you. Just listen to me.
More people live in less space and work harder for less reward. It's enough to make anyone snap.
Shut up!
Red Mist 3, Battleground Britain, Monday at 9, ITV1.
Hey, watch that.
it's a Saturday.
On the Ball is just the start of the football coming your way on ITV today.
I see this as a perfect marriage.
A bit mad.
But that is the Premiership. Goals raining in all over the place. Fastest and most comprehensive scoreline service on the box.
And it's definitely hotting up.
We know we'll turn things round.
That's all part and parcel of the game.
It is tough. It's a tough business.
It is a relegation battle, you know.
He has a class act.
He's my favourite, this fella.
Kevin Colburn was lucky not to get booked. He was lucky not to get charged.
Well, here at Highbury tonight, it's Arsenal 0, Valencia 0 at the moment. I wonder what Arsene Wenger, what sort of knowledge is imparting to them in there at the moment.
Well, keep going. Don't panic. Don't try and force the game. Don't. You know, just keep going. It's not been brilliant. I'm sure he'd be saying that. You know, you can play a lot better. Maybe wonder whether Pires and Ljungberg might just have a switch for 10 minutes. That can often have an impact. But in the main, concentrate. 0-0. If we take it, then that's a point.
Not a disaster, is it?
Not at all.
No. But we'd like to see some goals, wouldn't we? Yes, we would. Here's Clive. I know he's warmed up now.
You want to get more of a feel for the atmosphere at home that we're enjoying at Highbury, then just turn that bar off and open the windows, the French windows. Yeah, get them open. That's it. A little bit of air into the place. And just imagine Ron's face at the moment as he stamps his feet up and down and tries to get some circulation going.
Beautiful picnic weather, this.
I'm at Middlesbrough on Saturday. It won't be cold up there. No changes, other than the loss of Patrick Vieira in the first half. There was almost an inevitability about that. Now, are Arsenal waiting to make a change, or waiting for... Well, it's Lauren who's... maybe just put an extra layer or two on during the break. Nobody plots, of course, through the maze of the Champions League quite like Valencia. 2 seasons in the competition, 2 finals. Group winners 4 times out of 5. But whilst they had the best defensive record in Spain last season and have the best defensive record in Spain this season, they did outscore everybody in the first phase of the competition, the Champions League. And they've got an early free kick to defend, which Seagot and Campbell are forward. Pires takes. Punched away by Palop. He seems to favour that way of dealing with crosses. Parler will settle for the throw-in. Wilber trying to tiptoe in behind Valencia, but there's always cover, and Albelda provides it this time. But the ball is out of play, and Arsenal have a corner kick.
I think Valencia were a little bit miffed then, because I think they thought they got a free kick themselves. I think they thought that the referee Nelson had awarded them a free kick.
More assertive start to the second half by Arsenal. Pires with the corner, in towards Gilberto, turned away by Baraka. Lauren. Oh, it might come here for Thierry Henry, but Palop was very agile and very mobile.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for Arsenal to change the pattern. They've got that style of play which they keep so much and have so much faith in. Keep the ball on the deck and play. But, you know, you just wonder tonight whether they're going to go a little bit ugly, do a few scruffy things.
They kick their own player. Gilberto's down because of the accidental collision with Seagull's left boot. Really, his enemies with friends like that. What happened next? We didn't know what happened then.
You know, if Seagon really should point straight to somebody like Abelardo and say it was him. Wind Gilberto right up.
Arsene Wenger insists that he won't be buying at the January sales. He has topped up his squad in the new year in the past. Touré and Edu and Kanu are all early new year signings. Just wonder whether he's got world-class cover in goal yet, but Gilberto was certainly a very adept signing in the summer. Stuart Taylor is on the bench tonight. Shaban is going to be out for about 3 weeks. Gary Newman is not one of the Arsenal substitutes, incidentally.
He's got his strongest team out tonight.
Gilberto is on the near touchline and ready to resume. Bergkamp will present possession back to Valencia. So that Gilberto can come back on. Straight from Seaman. Gilberto heading the ball on. Bergkamp lofting it on towards Pires. Haven't seen a lot of Bergkamp tonight, but what we have seen has had a touch of artistry about it, which we expect from him. Belder on towards Peru, is onside here. Support is arriving to his left. Peru's shot! And it won't even go for a goal kick.
But I think that's the thing that we've come to notice with Pascal Seagon a little bit, that anything down the side of it, and he's not the fastest in the world. Peru runs away. Campbell powering across, maybe just does enough to force Peru out. Not the most accurate of shots.
It's the big question mark against him, isn't he? He scored one goal in the Spanish league last season, John Carew. The goal he scored on Saturday was his first in 8 games, and I tell you, in the match against Ajax 2 weeks ago, he missed the mother of all sitters.
But I'll say
3 yards out.
I'll say this for him, Clive. He's gone up somewhat in my estimation, because I thought he was hopeless when I first used to see him play for Valencia. In fact, I think, was it me or you? One of us called him the coach driver. I think it was you.
Belder. Both sides can pass the ball a lot better than they have done. It's a much better pass from Parla to Henry. Held up by Ayala. Pires rolled into Ljungberg. Very clever. Good save by Parla. Might come out to Bergkamp. Might still. Carboni didn't clear it. Pires! Blocked on the line by Ayala. Henry. Ayala there again. Wonderful little cameo there from Freddie Ljungberg, so unlucky not to score. Aymar stopped by Cole.
But that just might be the spark that Arsenal need to really drive them on.
Here is Ljungberg.
Superb play there. Ljungberg did ever so well, and full marks, by the way, to Palop, the goalkeeper. I mean, he's coming on, not untried, but he certainly hasn't done much wrong in the match at the moment, and that was lightning reactions from him. But once again, that was Ljungberg operating off the flank. I think he's far more effective when he goes and gets in those little positions where he can't get picked up and makes those darting runs into the box.
Changed the temper to the match too. Aymar towards Curro Torres.
Yeah, I think that'll give Arsenal a big lift. I think that first half they were looking for something, be it a powerful shot that maybe hit the woodwork or a crunching tackle. This may be the moment. That's great play. That's almost Bergkamp at Newcastle, isn't it? But that's great reaction from the keeper.
Always an element of fortune when a goalkeeper says with his feet, but that was very good reactions, and twice Ayala then helped him out in the ensuing attacks.
I think what he's done there, the keeper, by the way, I mean, I wouldn't call that a miss. People will maybe say that was a miss, but full good skill from Ljungberg. But as soon as he turned, the keeper was virtually on top of him.
Pires skips away from Angulo. Now runs at Curro Torres with conviction. Good run by Robert Pires, but Roberto Ayala got to him, and there were a few afters. But Arsenal are managing to put these guys under a bit of pressure now. Ayala giving Pires the eyes. You can turn you to stone, I tell you.
I was going to say, poke him in the eye like he's done in the past.
That's Campbell forward. That's Ayala's header, only as far as Thierry Henry.
But it's more of a forceful, higher tempo sort of pressure they're applying now, Arsenal. I mean, that's a nothing-key ball, really, but they haven't dealt with it, and Arsenal have sustained the pressure on them.
He has stuck up for English football in the last day or so. He said he prefers the Premiership to the Spanish equivalent, more emphasis on speed and commitment, and it's those old-fashioned qualities of the English game which have just ruffled the Valencia feathers, albeit mainly from Frenchmen. Arturo Torres. Here's Pascal Sigon. It's interesting that the English and Spanish leagues are the dominant forces in European football because they are the two 20-team leagues in top-level football. The two biggest leagues in Spain and the two in Europe are the two best leagues in Europe at the moment. Aymar. Charged down by Sigon. Play pure games in Germany, in Italy, in France, and Holland. Albelda. Aymar. In towards Carew. Campbell did well. Gilberto to Bergkamp. Possibilities here. Pires has Henry ahead of him. Plenty to his right. Ray Parler has Lauren overlapping too. This is Henry. Turned in towards Bergkamp. It was a dramatic save by Palop, but it was a very good Arsenal attack and almost a dramatic finish from Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah, good spell for Arsenal now. It's almost, you know, and I can't believe Arsene Wenger does it because of what you've heard. It's almost as if he's given the hairdryer treatment at half-time because they've raised their game, but they've got to defend now.
Carboni. Angulo. Can Arsenal keep the heat on? Medio Carboni. Mauricio Pellegrino. Put up by Gilberto Silva. This is Ray Parler. That's loose. Back towards Sigon. Had to deal with it under pressure from Carew. Angulo down to Aymar. He hasn't been on top of his game tonight. He's looked just off the pace, his pace slightly after a layoff, but on the ball in a dangerous position, Pablo Aymar. Arsenal got men around him. Angulo managed to swing in a cross, which was sliced and held by Seaman. Aymar is looking to the assistant on the near side. He thought he was roughed up a bit then. Hasn't played in the Champions League actually since the game at Anfield at the end of October. Aymar. Difficult for Pires to really assert himself tonight.
I think he gets paid. Well, they've all been paid quite a bit of attention, but they do gang up on him there. That's good rubbing back. I think that's one of the strengths of the Valencia side, where they're so good defensively that they get around the ball in groups. They very seldom leave one defender isolated.
Much has been made of the visits that their coach Rafa Benitez made to Manchester 4 years ago to study United in training. And Steve McLaren recalled that it was the spirit and the industry of the United players that really fascinated him. And they do play with spirit and industry, Valencia. More so than some teams we've seen from the Iberian Peninsula in the past. Aymar is full of spirit, and so is Cole. The referee right to try and get between them.
They've also probably, for a Spanish team, stuck together longer than most. I mean, we've seen a lot of these now for the last 4 years or so.
Yeah, they've been a selling club really during that period. Strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vicente. Double-teamed by Lauren and Ljungberg, and eventually he fouls the former. There is Rafa Benitez, who also travelled to watch the likes of Fabio Capello and Arrigo Sacchi on the training ground during his formative years. Roberto taking a bit of a chance, and then a mix-up with Sigon, and Aymar has found Carew. Got past Campbell. Carew, corner kick, could have been worse for Arsenal, that. So twice they played like strangers, Arsenal, bumped into each other, not on the same wavelength. Pellegrino, the tall defender, is inside the penalty area. Ayala, who can leap like a tall defender, is with him. Aymar. Turned away by Cole. Kuro Torres. Belda. Vicente out on the far side. The bounce defeats him. One or two of us looking a little sillier than usual with our head-to-head tonight. Ljungberg. Towards Henri, cut out by Pellegrino. Still Ajax 1, Roma 0 in the other match in this group. If you're wondering how Newcastle are going on in Barcelona, they're not. That game was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch and will now be played tomorrow. Burkett, back to Gilberto. Oh, deserved a better pass behind Ljungberg. Attack is still alive and well though. Lauren. Gilberto is there. Okay.
Just looking at the Arsenal again, I talk about Ljungberg not freeing himself from the sides as much as he normally does. When you see Arsenal really flowing and really in control of the game, Pires doesn't spend anything like the amount of time that he's spending today. They're playing a very much a disciplined four in midfield, with Pires and Ljungberg in the wide areas. Normally you see another one missed in there. They are in a few crumbs back there. Normally you see Pires go in the middle and start getting in a position where he can't be picked up, where he sets up a lot of play for him. Today he spent most of his time out on the flank.
Didn't keep that in. Valencia seemed to have calmed things down after that brighter start to this second half by Arsenal. Baraka. Cole is there. Here is. Gilberto just got a touch. And Parra emerges with the ball. Henri to his right. Stopped by Vicente. Again, just interrupting the Arsenal rhythm.
Nothing violent, but as you say, just enough to break it up.
Pires. This is Lauren.
And that's good hunting. Yeah, that's good hunting from Ljungberg.
Now gone. Arsenal played almost half of that time without their skipper Patrick Vieira, who substituted after 38 minutes. Apparently not a recurrence of the thigh injury which made him a doubt. He suffered a dead leg in the first half. We hear David Seaman has taken over the captain's armband. Parra has taken over from him at the heart of the midfield. Ljungberg. Charged down by Pellegrino. Throw it. Here's Bergkamp. Lauren. Dispossessed though by Vicente. This is Aymar. Has to keep his balance that time, but didn't provide the pass that Carew was hoping for. Ljungberg. In towards Henri. Well, one of these days he will head a goal for Arsenal. And it's a corner kick this time. Came off Baraka covering back, or Kuro Torres I should say. Cablo Seagull forward. Led by Carew. And back in by Seagull. And away by Carboni. Here's Pires. That's a tempting cross. Campbell couldn't quite attack it. Pellegrino and Ayala stood their ground and saw to that.
You're talking about Ranieri over there earlier, a little bit early, and you just wonder, let's see this cross again, and you'll see perhaps the point we're going to make. They don't allow free headers, do they? And when you consider over the last few years they've been coached by an Italian and an Argentinian, you just wonder whether they've ingrained those habits into their side.
They have had to live with barbs about their playing style in the Spanish League. The title campaign founded on a mean defence, but Benitez says that he's inherited a counter-attacking team from Couper and Ranieri. But we have seen them open up in spectacular style at the Mestalla in Champions League home games.
I was going to say, I've never seen them when I consider them to be a dull side. And there's nothing wrong with being mean and effective if you're prepared to attack as well, which they are.
Roberto was looking for that free kick, and now Belder obliged by obstructing him. Raised arm blocked his path.
I wonder what the mentality will be now as the game draws towards the last part of it, you know. If they'd have won the first match, Valencia, I'm pretty sure that they'd have been more than happy to try and sewn the game up, but they may feel they've got to try and sneak a result out of this, a win out of this.
Forward by Ayala. Roma still trailing by a 1-0 in Amsterdam against Ajax in the other match in the group. Everything remained the same. Arsenal and Ajax would top the group on 4 points. Ajax come here when the Champions League resumes in February. Big night for Dennis Bergkamp against the team that taught him how to play. Pires. Lauren. Ljungberg. They do quite literally get bodies in the way.
Yeah, to get around the group, first man comes out and presses it early, and he's always got support players around him.
It's difficult to play through them. Baraka, though, taken a little chance, and Ljungberg has picked his pocket, and this is Pires, and now Henry.
Worth a try.
And here's a corner. Deflected shot by Thierry Henry. And when you're scoring goals as he is, you're entitled to fancy your chances.
And you do when he's in that position, don't you? Coming in off the left-hand side on his right foot.
Half a dozen Champions League starts this season, half a dozen goals, but strangely, none here at Highbury. Pires with a corner. In towards Gilberto. It's going to be a change to the Valencia side. So whilst we're contemplating that, let's look ahead to tomorrow night and more Champions League football live on ITV2. Manchester United versus Deportivo La Coruña, 7 o'clock start for us there, and then the rearranged game between Barcelona and Newcastle is on the news channel tomorrow night. Programme starts at 7 o'clock. Highlights are both on ITV1 tomorrow night, 5 to 11. ITV1, this channel, tomorrow night, highlights of both Manchester United and Newcastle United. Catch up with all that on itv.com/football if you didn't take it all in then. That's our website. Francisco Rufete, the right-sided midfield pro, has had more than 3 weeks out through injury, but the man who got Valencia's winner at Anfield in October will now take over from Vicente.
Yeah, looks as if he's going on the left wing as well. He certainly did a smashing job against Liverpool in the home match, didn't he, out on the right-hand side. Caused them all sorts of problems.
Baraka. Struggling to reach that with his first touch, Rufete.
Well, that might pose Lauren a different sort of a problem. I felt he dealt very well with Vicente, actually. I thought he was very competitive and had a good battle with him and won the battle. But maybe Rafetti might go inside a little bit more.
Henry got up well then. Ayala mopping up. Peru again the target. And we just sold Lauren short. Rafetti got a foot on the ball. Peru turns it forward.
I think probably if Valencia had won that first game, I think they might have taken Aymar off now and put another midfield player in there. But it looks very much as if they're still looking for a breakaway goal.
Pires. This is Henry. Couldn't quite slip it into the path of Ljungberg. It stuck under its feet a little bit, and Ayala was able to get in a challenge. Arsenal have a throw-in.
Certainly this half's been a much better half for Arsenal, hasn't it?
Pires well tackled. Siegel. Bergkamp. Spin away from Albelda. Baraka clear. This is Carew. Aymar breaking beyond him. It's come off Parla for Angulo. Now Rafetti on his favoured right side. Pass is too strong for him. How about this for a later score from Amsterdam? It's now Ajax 2, Roma 0. And the second Ajax goal scored by their young substitute, Jari Litmanen. He's come on as a substitute and added to his immense collection of Champions League goals. Former Liverpool player back with Ajax, scoring their second goal, and Roma look like reaching the winter break without a point to their name.
Back here, it looks as if Rafetti has gone. It looks as if that's a permanent move. Angulo playing on the left-hand side now.
Parla. Bergkamp. Parla on towards Ljungberg. Cut out calmly by Carboni. Baraka. It's been a more circumspect game from Ruben Baraka tonight. He's played alongside Albelda, just in a holding role. Bergkamp. This is Ljungberg. Now he skipped away from Carboni. Well, the cross is long and Bergkamp wanted it earlier than that. Pires, though, resurrecting the move. Gilberto jumping into the path of Ashley Cole. Scooped in towards Ljungberg, who did have space, but Carboni was there. It's grew tall enough. Angulo forward towards Aymar. Ray Parla. Lauren. Seagull has gone down inside the centre circle.
And I think it's almost as if Angola's cracked him. Yes.
Angulo must have caught him.
Cracked him off the ball.
That changes everything. Valencia down to 10 men. Seagull's up on his feet now, but Kim Milton-Nielsen saw whatever Angulo did. Now, Seagull tried to block his path. Angulo swung his left arm into his midriff. Seagull was immediately looking at the referee.
And the referee couldn't have had a better view, could he?
Angulo, the hero 2 weeks ago with the late equaliser against Ajax, has landed Valencia in it. Ljungberg! Well to hold on there, Palop. And Arsenal may sense their chance now. Pires. On towards Bergkamp. Carboni jumping across him, managed to get his head on the ball. Ayala calmly to Aymar. He's had to drop into that spot on the left of midfield now. Rafetti. Carew has found Curro Torres. So has Parla. Foul. Certainly got some of the ball. Well, the referee who issued the most famous red card in recent footballing history. He's left with little choice. And Angulo swung at Sigon. No Well, he got that one right.
What must be galling for Benitez, you know, the Valencia manager. It was so, it was, I mean, it's stupidity, wasn't it? He wasn't going to cause, Angola wasn't going to cause any problems doing that. I think he actually thought Segan was going to step across his path and block him from getting at the ball.
Benitez has an extra problem now. It's almost as if there was some previous between them, didn't there? Because Segal was looking for Angulo as he ran towards him.
It looked almost as if Angulo wanted to get back at the ball. It looked as if he was going to try and block him off Segan, and then just stop suddenly. And I think that Angulo had anticipated a little bit more coming his way.
Well, it's stupidity more than anything.
Yeah, I mean...
Aymar with a free kick. Poor one. Cole at the second time of asking.
I think what you're saying now is how can Arsenal exploit the extra man? They've got a wonderful opportunity to do so. I think the best bet would be for Laurent to try and make some forward sorties off that side now.
Well, they're down to 9 at the moment because Curro Torres is not back on the field. Parla, now he is. This is Lauren. In towards Henry, cut out by Pellegrino. Parla is there. Aymar was courageous enough. Lauren. Parla trying to hold off Carboni. It'll come for Lauren to cross. Headed away by Albelda.
I think he can virtually afford to play almost as a right winger now, Lauren. I think he can keep going forward and force Aymar, who's playing out that side again, to force him to defend.
Bergkamp into Cold, looking to join in. He takes the tumble, but is urged to get to his feet. Youngberg has kept it in for Pires. Now Dennis Bergkamp. Played by Pellegrino, flag was up on the far side anyway.
I wonder if he's going to take a defender off and go with Wiltord, or he's going to make a straight swap here. Wiltord looks as if he's getting ready. He is getting ready. I just wonder whether Arsene Wenger might be even taking Lauren off. Play with an extra forward. Although Lauren, for me, has probably been Arsenal's best player tonight. Defensively, he saw up Vicente, and now, you know, he's got an opportunity to charge forward.
For the old match, not the feast we expected. Very few clear-cut openings. Valencia playing the last 20 minutes with 10 men following the dismissal of Angulo. Campbell. Lauren. Ljungberg. Parla. Arsenal got to shift the ball about quicker and more accurately than that did there to make the most of their extra man. Valencia have still got 9 goal side. Parla looking for Bergkamp. Cut out though by Baraka. Up towards Carew. Gilberto. Just trying to thread it through for Bergkamp. Composed play by Baraka. He is a fine footballer. Carboni.
We're trying to get both subs on there, trying to put a sub on as well at the moment, Valencia. Marchena looks like he's coming on as well.
We can play in midfield or at the back. Peru even lonelier up the front now.
Yeah, you have to believe that he's going to be left to play the last, what have we got, 20 minutes or 12 minutes or so on his own.
Ashley Cole. Full of running, full of self-confidence. Sports issue again. He won't be 22 until later this month. He's been an international fixture for nearly 2 years. He's played in the World Cup finals. He's played in a Champions League quarter-final, and he does make things happen. What he's made happen here is a corner. The changes are going to be made before the corner.
Youngberg's coming off.
come as close as anybody to scoring. He had a good chance in the first half. He forced an excellent save, cut off in the second half. But now it's Sylvain Wiltord who comes on in his place.
I think they're going to make their substitution after the corner.
Towards the head of Campbell, who tries to jab it goalwards. Well, there were a whole posse of white shirts blocking his path. Bergkamp back in towards Gilberto. They make challenges which make it impossible for you to get a clean header, even if you win it.
That's good defensive play. I was watching Ayala there. He made sure that Perez didn't get anywhere near the second ball.
Almost managed to spin away from Seagull. He's got a throw in. Now here comes the change for Valencia.
Yeah, well, they've certainly signalled their intent now. Bring up the most creative player.
Pablo Aimar leaves us, and his replacement is Carlos Marchena, who has been capped by Spain this season. Young centre-back come midfield player. Rufete. Carew. This last one throw-in. Just about to say who's going to support Carew now. I think the answer is nobody.
Nobody. He is definitely the Lone Ranger, and there's no Tonto tonight. But they've gone very much at the back, as you say. Marchena's dropped in, slotted in at the back. They'll just play
They've got a
9 behind the ball.
5 in a row at the back.
Yep.
Just got beyond the wall.
And it's going to be very, very difficult now for Arsenal to break them down, because they're not going to be ambitious. They're going to keep their solid banks there. And
it's level, you know. Tough call, but unlucky for Arsenal. All the officials tonight are from Denmark. Arsenal are going to play their joker in a moment, because Kanu, who's been out of action for 5 weeks following a cartilage injury, is going to figure in the closing stage of this game, and anything can happen when he's on the field. Henry, good control, stepped away from Marchena. There's always cover though. Ayala's there. That's been the feature of Valencia tonight. You get past one and there's 2 more waiting for you. Cole. Gilberto. To Lauren. Wiltord's gone out on that right-hand side. Valencia will be happy for Arsenal to play in front of them, though.
That's very difficult to draw them out, actually.
Cole. He might provide some penetration. He'll certainly try. That's the more you commit, the more likely you are to lose the ball. Cole looking to get it back straight away, but he's been penalised. Plays with his heart, Ashley Cole. Instinctive in what he does most of the time. Robert Pires will make way for the arrival of Kanu. One man very nearly back to full fitness, giving way to another who's bound to be a bit short of it. Wiltord's come over to this left-hand side. Bergkamp's gone out to the right. Kanu is up front alongside Henry as Rufete comes forward for Valencia. Here is Sylvain Wiltord. Parla, dispossessed by Baraka, steps away from Gilberto, who he would have done but for the challenge, which is penalised.
Now it's focus again, concentration. I mean, all right, you'd be looking for Arsenal to try and nick it now.
He's caught his ankle.
Yeah. But they're still going to make sure they don't do anything stupid and concede.
David Sean has been a spectator to much of what has happened in the second half. But Ruben Baraka in particular is very practiced from this range. Carboni, number 15, wants to be a part of it. And Ayala is there too. Baraka in the middle is the favourite. It's hit by Carboni. And it was always swinging away from goal. Lauren. A little over 6 minutes for Arsenal to make home advantage pay. Cole in towards Canu, just drifted over his head.
I thought he could have gone for that. I thought if he'd have got any sort of touch on that, the keeper was isolated.
Great control from Peru at the other end. Had to hold on to it and hold it up and wait for Puro Torres. Rufete. Baraka back to Ayala. Offside, Peru this time. Lauren. Can Arsenal produce a final push? Pellegrino has conceded a throw-in. Arsenal would settle for 4 points from their opening 2 games. And if they could just find a goal now to produce a maximum, and take a lot of the pressure off them when the Champions League resumes in 10 weeks' time.
And it's a wonderful opportunity for them to put Valencia, who they'd consider the strongest rivals in this group, really on the back foot.
Put 5 points between them and Valencia if they could win. Wiltor. Nilsson. Baraka swung forward towards Carew. He's kept on running and he's outpaced Seagull, not for the first time. So a throw in. Now the travelling Valencia supporters that he's visited. Lauren. Bergkamp coming deep. To pull the strings in towards Cano, turned away by Ayala.
That's where they have a little bit of a problem, Arsenal, in their makeup. They haven't, you know, you look at the Valencia side, they're all dropping back on the edge of their own box. And if they are pumping balls in at them, the Arsenal, you don't over-fancy an Arsenal striker. You think Cano should be at his size, but you wouldn't put him in the great aerial players in the world.
Ruben Baraka will sit out the last few minutes, replaced by the Brazilian left-back Fabio Aurelio. Just going to sit down on the left of the midfield effort. It's been very much a holding operation for Valencia for much of the night, and certainly since Angulo was sent off with a little under 20 minutes remaining. Cano losing possession now, Belda forward towards Carew. He's got his shot away and hit it with some gusto too, swinging wide of David Seaman's right-hand post, but his speed embarrassed Arsenal again then.
I think somehow or other I would like to see Sol Campbell say he's going to be my responsibility for the rest of the game. When they put that ball out in the channel beyond Seagun, you always expect Carew to win the race. I think Sol Campbell's going to be a little bit more closer to him. At least he's quick, if not quicker.
Gilberto. Wiltor. Bergkamp just behind Wiltor. Cano's long leg almost making something of it. Pascal Seagull.
They'll switch it out right if you can. If they can get the play out right to Laurent.
Gilberto looking to thread it through the eye of the needle towards Wiltor, but good recovery by Albelda. Rufete. His eye on the clock more than anything.
You know, he's good enough to run the ball, but I also felt he was looking for Carew to make a little dart down the side there.
Fabio Aurelio. Marchena. Offside against Rufete. Last couple of minutes here. Star-studded Frank Skinner show to follow. Lauren. Parla. Bergkamp. Anybody can find a way through this watertight defence, he can. Cole. Tossed in rather hopefully.
Awful ball. Just feels since they went down to 10 men that honestly thought Laurent was the man they could have released to keep going down the right wing, and I think they've ignored him a lot.
Bergkamp losing possession. Rufete trying his luck from inside his own half. David Seaman was 6 or 7 paces off his line. You're watching too much David Beckham on the telly, you. Cole. Towards the head of Henry. It came off Ayala. It's come from Canu. It's a terrific stop by Palop. Canu again. Wiltor miscued. And it's cleared off the line. Marchena, it was, who eventually knocked it away, but Palop, his goalkeeper, made the critical stop. First Canu, then Wiltor denied. Rare mistake by Ayala. Handball by Carboni. Referee waits play on. I think it was on the edge rather than inside.
It was definitely on the edge. It was definitely handball.
This is Curo Torres. Rufete. Carew is in the centre. It's a good cross too, and Carew is there, and Campbell has to make a goal line clearance. And it's all happening in the last few minutes here at Highbury. Both sides within a whisker of winning it. Wiltor seeking out Parla, but cut out by Fabio Aurelio. Rufete. On goes Albelda. Campbell to Arsenal's rescue once more. Cole. Wiltor. Now Gilberto. It hasn't been the most dramatic of matches, but the finale is full of talking points. Henry jumping. And again, into Carboni, who he drags to the floor. Carboni holds his face. Free kick has been given.
That's an unbelievable sequence, though, wasn't it, then?
Now, is this a handball by Carboni on the penalty area?
No, definitely. Definitely. One of those where he's guided it back in. And strange for a player of his sort of experience as well.
He's making the most of this, his clash with Henry.
And there's only a couple of minutes left now, and he's trying to break any momentum up. But this was once again, Palop has had a super game in goal. I thought this was a great chance. I thought he scruffed it there, Wiltor. And then after all that, we got the other end, and we see this great ball in. Very acrobatic there from John Carew. Fortunately for Arsenal, Sol Campbell had done what good defenders do and covered the danger area.
Palop is very agile and athletic goalkeeper. He looks fast and
he's sharp. He's wide awake all the while. I mean, he's made 3 or 4. Early on when he punched those 2 out, they were good punches, but you thought, oh, I wonder. He's been a people. He's certainly been in close people down.
Henry and Carboni just in conversation with the referee. Something and nothing, to be honest. Big roar goes up from the Arsenal fans, maybe sensing one last chance for Arsenal, who've been playing against a 10-man Valencia for the last 20 minutes, to make that advantage pay somehow. Carboni misjudged the ball. Good cross from Henry. Turned away by Curo Torres as far as Ray Parla. And now Gilberto miskicks. Cleared by Fabio Aurelio. Comes back off Rufete, though. And this is Ashley Cole. Now Pascal Seagull.
They're trying to wedge it through that middle where they're heavy on the... We've got Loren out on the right, completely unmarked.
Valencia trying to break with Fabio Aurelio, held up by Lara. This is Gilberto. Runs into Albelda. Ian Baraka have done so much good work on behalf of the men behind them, and Carew has done some great work on his own up front for Valencia. Lost possession though to Campbell. Well, the match has had an undertone of 0-0 for much of the evening, and then strangely in the last few minutes when both sides seem almost to have settled for their point, both could have won it. Wiltor certainly had a clear view of goal, was denied by a goal line clearance. So too was John Carew. Palop was outstanding for Valencia, but Arsenal didn't get through to him as they had hoped. Plenty though for Des and Andy to review in those final minutes, but the final score at Highbury is Arsenal 0, Valencia 0.
Going home to a hero's welcome tonight.
My bank said business inquiries would often be rerouted through a dedicated advice centre.
This is Linda speaking, Kelly speaking.
This is Julie speaking. How can I help?
Translation, I get sent round the houses. All right, Treacle, slow down. I won't turn the meter on till you get in the cab, promise. I thought, there's got to be another way. And there was.
Thanks.
Oh, cheers, love. Want my tip? Try another bang.
Remington's new micro-screen TCT with the only triple screen system that adjusts for our closest shave with less irritation.
Like it, huh?
Also from Remington, the rotary TCT with the most blades and total floating head action for our ultimate in closeness and comfort. Remington, what a great shave feels like.
It's Christmas. It's the season for romance. Hugh Grant and Rachel Weisz in the romantic comedy of the year, About a Boy. The perfect gift this Christmas on DVD and VHS.
Bond. James Bond.
Be James Bond in James Bond's world. 007 Nightfire.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
When taking a photograph, make sure your subject is ready and that they're arranged in a suitably formal manner. This can be difficult with members of the animal kingdom. Avoid blurring by keeping movement to a minimum. Follow these simple rules and you'll end up with a photograph you'll treasure for a lifetime. Go on, muck about with free photo messaging for all Orange customers.
Trigger Happy TV is back! I'm trying to do Tai Chi! I'm trying to calm down! Trigger Happy TV 3, out now on video and DVD.
Some saxophones. Trumpets. The piano.
Great on their own, but like the single malts in Bell's whiskey, for something really special, you need to blend them together. Blended to perfection from the finest single malts. Bell's, it's all in the blend.
Tonight on the Frank Skinner Show, we've got Carol Vorderman, we've got Jack Ryder, we've got Renee Zellweger, and we've got, what's your name again?
Frank Hughes.
Frank Hughes. No, it was Jeffrey. It's Richard Gere. Later.
Join Frank Skinner and guests after the football.
Now, tonight's match between Barcelona and Newcastle was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch. It'll be played tomorrow night, and you'll be able to see it on the ITV News channel. That programme will start at 7 o'clock. Here, Arsenal 0, Valencia 0, I'm afraid. But the other result in this group, Ajax beat Roma by 2-1, and Arsenal will play Ajax next, but that's in February. Of course, there's the winter break in the Champions League, as you know. Let's hear what Freddie Ljungberg has to say about it all.
Freddie couldn't do it against 10 men in the end.
Unfortunately, no. We tried. Of course, we're disappointed we didn't win. But you know, we had to try and win in Valencia instead.
It was nearly a magic goal from you. It was a beautiful turn, but the goalkeeper was there.
Yeah, he came a bit close, and maybe I should have passed him or chipped it, but it came on my left foot, so maybe I tried to shoot, and yeah, unfortunately, it could have been a nice goal, but it wasn't to be.
But Wiltord miscued after Cannon had a chance there at the end. It was that sort of game.
Yeah, I mean, there was a brilliant chance, and I think maybe he had thought he had a shorter time than he had. He had more time, and then you rush things, unfortunately. But that was one of those days, maybe, and like I said, we're very disappointed about it.
Didn't work tonight, did it, Andy? Two games running without scoring Arsenal. That is rare.
That is very rare. Tonight, there's nearly too many players not quite with it tonight, and I give credit to Valencia for sticking at it with 20 minutes to go, obviously down to the 10 men. But Arsenal had slightly the better chances, bit better possession, didn't do enough to win it for me. I think the draw's a fair result.
Well, here are a couple of those. These were the best chances, weren't they? I mean, Freddie mentions himself his own chance there.
5 minutes into the second half, and we were waiting for a spark or something just to ignite the game, and this was it. Great ball from Pires. That is as good a spin as you'll see anywhere. I think I have to say that's a miss there. I think he should have finished that off. Dennis Bergkamp recovers it. Pires spins with a volley, and it comes to Thierry Henry, who kind of side foots it back into the pot, and they clear it. That was a very good chance. This was the best move of the match from an Arsenal perspective. Great ball from Henry, good header from Bergkamp. I don't know if that was a Hollywood save. May
have been. You would have probably thought so. Yeah. I thought it was good.
And this was with literally minutes to go on the clock. Kanu gets through, then that half volley presented to Wiltord from 8 yards out with the goalie nowhere. It could have ended up in the back of the net.
Henry was a little bit on the quiet side tonight, wasn't he? We've seen such wonderful displays of football from him in recent weeks.
Well, exactly.
And you expect so much.
Correct, that's exactly it. You know, you do see him, he's majestic at times, and you kind of think he's going to do it every week. He's only human, you know, he can't perform like that. He can't be their match winner. Someone else has got to perhaps do it when he's not firing.
Yeah. Well, they were down to 10 men, but they produced a couple of good chances right at the end. I mean, Carew is deceptively fast, isn't he?
Yes, he is very quick, and that's his strength, running onto things like that. He hit that very well. I actually thought from our angle here it was closer. It was 3 or 4 yards wide. Very late on now, they could have snatched it. Good ball crossed in, and he gets a foot on that, and Sol Campbell just does enough to hook that away. I was a bit disappointed with Valencia from an attacking perspective because we've seen so much from them. But all in all, it's a good result for them. It's a better result for Arsenal. They're top of the table with 4 points.
I wasn't
very
alive.
No, it was very congested in the middle of the park. There was a lot of erratic passing. It just wasn't a great game. But at the end of the day, Arsenal will come out of it with with another valuable point.
Arsenal might have. There was a penalty appeal, wasn't there, which we almost missed.
Again, very late on again. That's Carboni miscontrolling it. That is definitely hit his hand. I would argue there. I don't actually think he's in the area. I think he's right on the line. But certainly hit his hand, and you know, you would certainly have the right to appeal for that.
How do you place this point here now tonight? I mean, it's not curtains or anything like that. They've got 4 points now from 2 games. How do you see it overall?
I think it's a very good point. You can't always play wonderfully well. As I say, we've seen Arsenal so many times produce such quality. It doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes you've got to grind a result out. settle for a point. They'll know they can play an awful lot better, Des, and simple as that.
Okay, Andy, thank you very much indeed. We've got one other result to give you. Here it comes. As I told you, the Barcelona-Newcastle match was off. That's going to be played tomorrow. Inter Milan beat Bayer Leverkusen. See, they got 5 goals there tonight. Inter Milan 3, Bayer Leverkusen 2. Highlights of all tonight's action will be later on. But here, I'm afraid it was much ado about nothing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This program was sponsored by Ford and MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsors.